Good day. Hello, CW, Sister Jeannie, and CJ. How are you doing today? Today is Thursday. Boy, that went fast. November 7th, 2024. And thank you for your prayers. Good day, RM. Getting up early this morning. Appreciate that. I'm going to get right into our Good Day Rising prayers. I don't have much to say today. I did get good news last night that I was approved for a motorhome. So now we're going to work out where I'm going to go first. I know Greg has already invited me to stop by at his new place in Georgia. South Carolina. And so anyone else this winter, if things hold together in society, then I may come visit whoever would like to have me. I could say mass, etc. So, and it also presents a really nice traveling unit for my son Ben. That's what the main focus of that was for when we go to Florida, to have the ability for him to use the facilities whenever he needed it in comfort and not in stress. So, hello, Denise. Good day. And so, very excited about that. Not happy at all about the usury rate, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe the straw man activity will come through as well. I see that with good intentions and with good prayers and with action, we're being given a reprieve when it seems most of the country and the world is struggling mightily. So thank you, Deam Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, for your gifts and your mercy. All right, let's get started. In nomine Dei, Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Holy Trinity as envisioned by St. Lucia in the Trinitarian Theophany, and humbly venerate the Divine Family. O most holy Trinity, as envisioned in the Trinitarian Theophany, I firmly believe that thou art here present. In relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Matronam Nostrae. O most holy Trinity, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me, and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the most holy Trinity for the many graces that we receive and offer ourselves and our sufferings to heaven and for the souls in purgatory. O most holy Trinity, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of the Holy Trinity the graces which are necessary to us. O most Holy Trinity, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Dea Matronam Nostrae, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most Holy Trinity, envisioned by St. Lucia in the Holy Trinitarian Theophany, Dea Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell. But most of all, because they offend thee, O most Holy Trinity, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. It's important to keep the virtues in front of us, as we know. And we must remember that it isn't through any of our own actions, but in union with the Most Holy Trinity, that we can achieve these virtues and practice them and succeed. So I'm going to read them again. And again, people think they know the virtues, but when you really think, even I can't remember and memorize, and I should sit down and memorize them and know them, but you can name a few of them, but the more I repeat them, the more they will remain in our memories. In the Catholic Church, there are three very distinct categories of virtues which we all should be praying to have more of. The first category is known as the cardinal virtues. The second is known as the theological virtues, and the third is the capital virtues. So cardinal, theological, and capital. The cardinal virtues are four moral virtues that are the foundation for the others. Cardinal comes from the Latin cardo, which means hinge, like a door hinge. The cardinal virtues can all be acquired through practice and by observing others who are older and wiser than you are. All other virtues hinge on the following four cardinal virtues. I'm going to make a note about that. I was thinking about that the other day, and how the youth do not respect, and I was guilty of this because it was constantly drilled into us growing up that your parents or older people, they don't know nothing. They're just people sitting in nursing homes, or they're goofballs or something. However, I had a very nice chat with one of my sons because he had been challenged in his faith, and he gave me a call. And with the raising of my children, it was very difficult because we bounced so much trying to find the truth that it was difficult for them to grasp and hold on to something solid. And that's indicative of the whole Catholic Church in the world. But he was challenged because of what's happening right now. Apparently, I can't remember if I mentioned this or not. It's been a whirlwind week. But in New York, they had ruled against the church with regards to the statute of limitations for the abuses committed by those men in priest outfits. Okay, because they're not priests they're not Catholic priests. They were infiltrators, communist infiltrators. Okay, but they represented the official church. So their statute of limitations for these crimes were removed, and they can't hide any longer. So the fine apparently is going to, and again, this is all hearsay from my son. I don't know the details on this. If somebody can get more information, that would be good if you wish. But in any case, the idea here was that the church in New York has different dioceses, and those dioceses would get hit with a certain fine because these lawsuits just came piling in against the official church for their failure. And so he said this, he was telling me, my son was telling me, this is going to destroy the Catholic Church. He said, and he said to me, and I'm trying to understand if that's okay. And I was like, wow, that's a really profound question. And I'm proud of him for thinking of that. And I explained to him, well, it's okay for that part to be destroyed because that isn't the Catholic faith. And that's not, it's evil, and it's what it's doing is wrong. And you have to pursue what you have to increase your relationship directly with the Trinity and the Trinitarian Theophany as envisioned by St. Lucia. And so, we had a really good conversation, and it was kind of surprising. I didn't expect it from him. But the virtues are what we try to practice, no matter whether or not we got something right or wrong as to a dogma or something like that. And it hit me not too long ago. I would say a couple years ago, when I first started saying this Mass and reading about those mystical saints, that they hinged on the virtues. So the first cardinal virtue is prudence. St. Thomas Aquinas, once again, said that prudence was the primary cardinal virtue because it is concerned with the intellect. And that's interesting. I would not have thought prudence was the first or most primary. Prudence is basically the ability to distinguish what is good and bad in any given situation. So that's exactly what my son was doing, was being prudent. He was chewing, he was discerning on what is good and bad. And what the Church of New York, the Catholic Church of New York, was doing was basically splitting the penalty amongst all its dioceses. So if you had more offenders in your diocese, you paid more. Okay, and then they're passing that on to the parishioners. That's just so completely bizarre to me, how that whole thing operates. But in any case, prudence is basically the ability to distinguish what is good and bad in any given situation and to take appropriate action For instance, if you are in a big hurry on the freeway, you know that you are in an area closely monitored by the police for speeding, it would not be prudent to go faster than the speed limit. I just get a kick out of some of these people, the examples they use. Okay. So programmed. That's an example of prudence, but it's not a good example because, well, I'm not going to get into straw man. So let's just focus today on prudence and continually repeat that definition in our heads today. The ability to distinguish what is good and bad in any given situation and to take appropriate action. And that's what I was trying to get my son to understand. It's not just about dealing with this. It's not just about knowing about the situation which he's in. I'm going to back up just a little bit. The reason he asked me that was because my brother, who the two of them live near each other and they work together, and my brother's been very, very helpful with helping him get his business started and underway and giving him work, etc. So he brought him to a Knights of Columbus meeting. My brother is having a very, very difficult time with the concept of church. What is church? And so that's what he now the two of them are having this difficult presentation of what is church, and should the church be helped out, or should it be let go to fall? So that's where that came from. And I'm very careful because it's not good to just go and condemn people. I let the Holy Trinity work through the seed that we're planting with our example. Okay, and my brother very much appreciates my children and who they are, because both my wife and I stressed the importance of them being good more than being successful. And it proves to be a quandary for many, many people. It's not that you can't be both, but it's more important to be good. All right. So again, prudence, the ability to distinguish what is good and bad in any given situation, and to take appropriate action. Must take the appropriate action. One last request. If somebody knows my address, I would like them to take an empty box, a small box, and just put a label on it and mail it to me without postage. Okay? And I think I mentioned this once before, but I want to test it and see if I get something. I want to make sure that this works. According to 742.1 on the United States Postal Service website, under marking, some items of foreign origin. Okay, now we are of foreign origin compared to the United States. We are foreign, even if we live in one of the 50 states. Some items of foreign origin do not bear postage stamps, but instead are marked prepaid or taxe percu, TAXEPERCUE, or port pay. Okay, followed by a postmark. The marking, and then it says, treat this mail as prepaid. Okay, so again, we are our own foreign post office, and we don't put postage stamps on parcels. So all such parcels are to be regarded as prepaid. That's 742.1 and 742.2. I'm just curious to see, just an empty box, just so there's no expense or anything involved. I've heard success and I've heard non-success. I think it depends on the post office. But you can just drop it in like a package box or something like that, container, whatever they call those. All right, let's begin Mass. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apotei. Oremus. O most holy Trinity, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one holy Trinity, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum Hanc Immaculatum Hostium, quam ego indignius famulos tuos offeditibi Deum meum vivum et verum, pro inimicibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligencies meis et promnibus circumstantibus, sera promnibus fidelibus Catholicorum vivis atque defunctis ut mihi et idis proficietat salutem. Deum qui humanae substantia dignitatem mirabilita condidis et mirabilis reformatio nobis, periuis atque divinem mysterium eis divinitatis esse consortes, qui minitatis nostrae, fieri notis partecepts Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tegum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum deprecantis clementiam, ut conspectu divinae majestatis tuae pro nostra totius mundi salute, cum adore suavitatis ascendat. Et spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito suscipiam rate Deum Iesum Christum et fiat sacrificium nostrum et conspectu tu hodie ut placia tibi Deum matronam nostrae Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum et sanctificite blato pro secundo et accipere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomine praeparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas concoblationem quam tibi afferimus a memoriam passionis, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum. Et in honorem Deum matronam nostrae et a Papa Peter Sanctorum et Istorum et Omnium Sanctorum, ut illis proficiet ad honorem nobis autem et salutem et illi pro nobis intercedere in inter caelis, coram amorem agimus in tedis per innum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate ut meum equestrum sacrificium accettare fiat per Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipia Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis et laudam et gloriam nominis sui ad utilitatem quoque nostram, totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque apotei, sursum corda habemus a Deum. Gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Tegit lo clementes mi mater pater, Deum matron nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrae, supplices rogamus ac petimus. Uti accepta habeas et sanctificas, haec sanctam sacrificium ilibata. In primis quae tibi afferimus pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam catholicam, quam pacificare custodire adonare et regere dignities toto orbiterum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum famulorum tuorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We pray for Katie, Gage, R.N., Rebecca Marie, Neil and Earl Lively, Marie Josephina Mose, Letitia, Mark Jr., Henry, Barbara, and Benedict Santa Croce, Mr. Nobody, Ann Botink, the Cantu and Duarte families, Michaela McLaren and family, Janalina Laurie Aaron and family, Maria and the Lineweber family, the Cahill, Kendrick, Dasco, Nye, Tafor, Wolf, Began, and Kane families, and all their intentions. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sedevacantist Catholic Council Office of Monastery of Illinois, that the donations that he needs to complete this project be forthwith coming. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, of transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, abuse, child abuse of any kind, anywhere, place, or time, and that people involved who see this, know about this, please expose it, put it into the light in order to stop it. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, medium of exchange with no usury, that courageous men with strong hearts and minds step forward as leaders of this Catholic society. We thank you for the destruction or the failure of the pandemic treaty to be passed. Please, with our prayers and in the hearts of those people who are keeping an eye on it, make sure they don't just change it to a different name and try to sneak it through elsewhere. Please also inform and change the souls of all those members of Freemasonry that are ignorant, and help those who wish to come out of it. All these things we ask in accordance with the Trinitarian Theophany's holy and divine will. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fidis cognite est nota devotio pro quibus tibi afferimus, vel qui tibi offeruntox sacrificium laudis proces usque omnibus, pro redemptione animarum suarum, pro spe salutis et volumitatis suae, tibi credum vota sua, aeterno Deum vivo et vero, communicantes et memorantes primis gloriosae semper Dei matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium torum Papa Sancta Petri, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum torum quorum meditis praecibusque concedas ut in omnibus protectionis tuae, muniamur auxilia per in Christum Deum nostrum. Quam oblatione de Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratum ac eternumque fecit nidis et nobis corpum, et sanguinem fiat didictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam pateretur recepit panem in sanctus aqua venerabilis manus suas, et derivatis oculis in caelamate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens, consecravit frege didique lunis sui dicenza cipit et amanda cate ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meo. Simene modo postquam ceremone est accipienser hunc preclarum calicem in sanctus aqua venerabilis manus suas, idem tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, consecrave dedique lunis sui dicenza cipite et bibite exe omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei, mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissione peccatorum. Haec est cumque feceritis in memoriam facetis. Spiritum Dei et memoris Deum nos servitui sed plebs tua sancta Iustum Christum filium tuum Deum nostrae. Tam beate passiones nec non et event fedis resurrectionis sed et in caelus gloriosae ascensionis afferimus praeclarae maestati tuae de tuis donis actatis, supra quae propitio axareno vultur respicieri dineris. Supplices te ragamus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum ibe hic preferibus manus tuum ut quod exequataris participationis sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem senimus, omni sanctificatione caelestia gratia de amor per in Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died, and we especially pray for Roman Pollock, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis Deum et omnibum in Christum, quis gentibum locum refugere lucis e pacis, ut notare geste proclamar per in Christum Deum nostrum, per quem hic omnia Deum, Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso, est tibi Deum Patrum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea, matronam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum, sanctam tuum in mulieribus, Dea matronam nostrae, matram Deum Iesum Christum, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quaesimus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum ab omnibus malis, praeteritis, praesentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata gloriosa semper Dea matronam nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis da propitius pacem in diebus nostris. Ut ope misericordiae Tui aduite de peccato, simus semper libere de omni perturbatione securi. Per innum Deum nostrum, Iesum Christum, Filium Tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum et quoque apud te. Haec ex Deo consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum fiat ecipientibus nobis in et salutem aeternam. Pax tecum et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae, qua brande Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuam unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacro sanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis et universis malis, et fac me tui semper inhadare mandatis, et unum cum separari permittas, qui cum eodem Deum matronam nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis serenam aeternam. Perceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indinius sum repraesimo non mihi provini et in idicium et condamnationem, sed pro tua pietate prosit mihi et tutum et metis corporis et ad me delam percipiendam, qui vivis et reinas cum Deum matronam nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem celestem accipiem et nomen Deum Iesum Christum immocabo. Deum matronam nostrum non sunt dignius, ut tutus et te meis in tante requervos nobis mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sunt dignius, ut tutus et te meis in tante requervos nobis mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sunt dignius, ut tutus et te meis in tante requervos nobis mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quaedra tribum Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus quaero tribuit mihi, calicem saitaris accipiam et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo, laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostra et ab inimicis mei savocero, sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet et anima mea. Quodore subsumus Deum Iesum Christum puramente capiamus et immunere temperae fit nobis remedium sempiterno. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum quod sums et sanguis quem potavi et heli et visceribus meis, et praesta ut in me non remaniam, scalar macula quem purat sancta reficerunt sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, quoque apud oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, O most holy Trinity, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, quoque apud te, ite meis est. Deum gratia. Placia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequium, servitutis meae, et praesta ut sacrificium coroculis tuae majestatis in inus autoritibus et acceptabile mique et omnibus, pro quibus idut optolecit miserante propitiae per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum. Deum Matronam Nostra et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gratias. O most holy Trinity, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most holy Trinity, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Iesum Christum, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and immaculate heart of Dea Matronam Nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Dei, matronum nostra, et in Iesum Christum, et in Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. Thank you very much for attending. I appreciate your faith, your perseverance, your prudence. All right. We'll talk more about the virtues tomorrow. Oh, wait. Tomorrow is, tomorrow is Friday. Okay, we'll talk about my latest letter to the IRS. That's what we'll do. And then we'll continue with the virtues on Saturday. All right, please go and sanctify all those you meet. Have a great day.